What's up, you guys? Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to get this fade right here. And this is just a mid fade with the comb over. And let's just get straight into it. Alright, you guys, I'm going to start off right here just by getting some length off the front. My client did said he wanted a good amount of length off, so I'm going to take off some starting at this front part because I feel like it was a little longer. So I want to set a good base for myself. I typically like to comb the middle towards the front and each side towards the side, with the back also going towards the back, just to have every neat section. And I'm just getting the length off evenly all around the head. Alright, you guys, now I'm going up with my number 4 guard all the way open, and I'm just gonna be setting in a good shape for this haircut. I'm not making a guideline or anything, I'm just helping blend into that top while removing bulk. Towards the back of the right side of the head, there was a cowlick, so it was a little difficult, but we got it done. I'm going to be doing the same step all around the head, and combing it as I go to have it neat and laid down. Alright, you guys, now I'm going to be doing the same thing with my number 3 guard all the way open, and I'm just stacking my guards again, just helping create that shape and helping blend into the top, removing the bulk as well. I typically do this against the grain, and it's a simple step. Alright, you guys, now I'm setting my bald line, and I'm just using my Anderson Line Pros, where I like to swipe at it just to make a thin line, and then I flip my trimmer over and start hitting it like if I were setting in a guideline with my clippers. I like to remove bulk as I go or after, but I don't like to keep it as I'm doing my fade, just to keep it neat. I'm going to drop it towards the back. I'm doing this because I'm going to set myself up for success, to have a good space to work with in the back so I can take it a little bit higher. I'm setting his guideline in, just following the shape of his head and creating a good guideline that sets me apart from others. I'm going to be swiping at it again on the other side. I'm going to do it in front of the ear and behind the ear, just because I struggle a little bit to get it. But regardless of how you do it, just get that even bald line all around. Alright, you guys, now I'm going up with my lever open on my Barber Pro clipper, and I'm just going in a consistent motion, going up about 3/4 of an inch. I like to go over my guidelines as much as I can, just getting it even all around. I don't typically like to set in tough guidelines, and it's all just preference, but I like to set mine in softer. Alright, you guys, now I'm going to be going into the back, and in the back I'm going to just set it in a little bit higher, and I'm going to be doing this guideline against the grain the whole way, regardless of any small growth patterns that are different. I'm going to be doing the same thing all around the head, and I typically like to connect it like behind the ear. Alright, you guys, now I'm going to be doing the same thing with my number 1 guard all the way open using my magic clip, and I'm just going to be going up about 3/4 of an inch again, but I'm not going to be setting in a harsh guideline at all this time. I'm doing this because I want to set a good guideline while helping blend into that top. I'm going to be doing the same thing all around the head, and I'm just going to start on that right side and then meet back in the ear. Alright, you guys, now I'm going to be doing some clip over comb, and I'm just going to be going in and scooping out, just removing length as I need to. I'm not going to be taking off so much, but I am going to be taking off as much as I need to. Right here I like this angle because it does show me how much I need to take off, because this whole thing is not just to take off a whole lot of length. It's setting a whole head shape, setting in that shape of the hair, and it's going to keep this contrast fade going all the way through. Alright, you guys, now I'm going up with my number 2 guard all the way open, and I'm just going in a straight line all the way up, just blending into that clip over comb while blending into the top as well. And I'm just going in a consistent motion, keeping it even around the head, and I'm not setting a new guideline at all. I'm just helping blend into that top and that clip over comb that I just did. Towards that back area where there was a cowlick, I kind of try to not go too high, because with cowlicks I like to keep them a little longer just so that they lay down. In some occasions I guess you can cut the whole hair short. They're a little tough to deal with, but there is a way to get them. Alright, you guys, now I'm going up with my 1.5 guard all the way open, and I'm actually just flicking out that top line. I'm hoping blend into that number 2 guard all the way open that I did, and I'm gonna set myself up for success while I'm doing that number 1.5 guard all the way closed. Now I'm using my 1.5 guard all the way closed, and I'm just gonna be getting that top line completely out. And if I need to, I play with my lever as much as I can, and I'm just using my corners, just getting any detailed spots that I need, picking at each dark spot, and in a consistent motion all around the head. I'm going to be doing the same thing all around the head, and towards this cowlick area that you guys can see right here, I try to not go too high. Now I'm using my 1 guard all the way open, and I'm just getting any spots that I missed, kind of going against the grain or any darker spots, and I'm just going for any specific spots, like any longer spots. Not setting in a new guideline at all. Alright, you guys, now I got my number 1 guard all the way closed, and I'm just going in a circle motion all consistently all throughout the head, and I'm really not taking out that line all the way out. I'm just helping create that blurry fade effect while softening up that line. I'm going to be doing the same thing all around the head just to set myself up for success. Alright, you guys, now I'm using my 0.5 guard all the way open. You guys can call this the 1/16 guard or whatever, but I'm just getting that middle line completely out, and I'm just flicking that at that line in a complete, consistent motion. I'm using my corners, and I'm tilting my clipper as I need to. As you guys can notice, I'm playing with my lever as much as I need to, and if it's any longer or darker spots, I go a little bit higher, but I definitely do open my lever as much as I have to. Alright, you guys, now I'm using my wall 0.5 guard, just because I feel like this gets a little closer, so I'm going to get any spots that I miss, and I'm just using my corners and playing with my lever the same way. Again, I'm doing a consistent motion because consistency is key. So I'm going to be using my corners, and towards the back it was a little darker, so I did have to play with my lever. Alright, you guys, now I'm blending in this bottom line, and I'm just going to start off by having my clipper all the way closed, just tapping at that line, taking it up a little bit. Then I'm going to be using my clipper, and then I'm going to put it on the middle notch, and I'm just going to take it up a bit more. But this time I'm not really setting in the hard guideline. I'm kind of flicking at it. Then I'm going to open my clipper 1 more notch, and I'm just going to be using my corners to not set in a hard guideline, but I'm going to take off that top part as much off as I can. Just using my corners, and if there's any darker spots I might as well get them, so I do. And now I'm going to be using my 2nd notch, and I'm just going to get that line completely out using my corners and tilting it as much as I need to. I'm definitely flicking at it this time just because it's already softened up for me and it shouldn't be hard to get out. Then I'm just going to close my clipper all the way, and then I'm just going to use my corners and get any spots that I missed or any longer spots, and if I need to, I just detail it while I'm there. Now this part is what really sets you apart. I'm just going to be detailing using my corners. You guys can see right here I'm getting this specific darker spot, and this is what's going to set you apart differently. Now I'm going to be doing my lineup, and I'm just using my True Barber hair grips, and then I'm going to comb the hair down just to get everything nice and neat. Now I'm going to be using my 1.5 guard all the way open, and I'm just going to go with the grain with those baby hairs that are already there. I'm just doing this to lay the hairs down and get them all even. Now using the Endless Line Pros, I'm just going to line them up real quick, not pushing them back, getting the line crispy. I'm going to be going over it as much as I need to, just crisping it out. It's pretty important that you guys angle your trimmers so that where those two blades meet, that's exactly where you're going to be hitting with. As you guys can see, the actual body of the trimmer is kind of facing out, while the blade is hitting exactly where I'm lining up, just so I don't hit some weird slanted lineup. I'm going to be doing my box line, and I'm just going to be tapping at it, and I'm kind of stretching the skin just because he did have a smaller box area. Now doing my C cups, I'm just going to be tapping at it just a slight bit from that side, and then I'm going to fill it in. And when I'm tapping at it, I'm barely tapping at it just so that I don't push him back at all. And really, I'm not taking off length unless you really need to, but I'm just tapping at it, and then I'm gonna use what hair is already there and just crisping that out. I like to use my corners, definitely not using my full blade. Now I'm using my Barber pencil, and I'm just going over that lineup that I just did just to make it pop out. Using my Endless Line Pro again, I'm just going to be tapping at that line and pulling away from it just to have this lineup pop out. Now using my straight shaver, I like to do this because it holds me accountable. This just sets me apart and it makes my blends pop out.
Wait a minute! Who are you?
Alright, you guys, this is the finished product right here. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you guys want to see more videos like this, let me know. Like this video, you guys want to see more like this, and hit that red button.